Welcome back. That was in sync. If that wasn't in the recording, if that's not in sync, oh, fuming.
Be disappointed.
Oh no. But anyway, welcome back. Finlay and Luke show again. Just we're always
I think it's
here.
episode 15, I want to say.
Wow.
So we're getting there.
It's a lot. Obviously, we're like the dickhead uncle that you can't get rid of, and you just keep sleeping on your couch. Really, aren't
Just
we?
the alcoholic one who comes over for Christmas. Go, oh,
yeah. Is the alcoholic one that comes over for Christmas and then stays all the way through New Year on your couch?
You see, and this is comedically pleasing because we're both alcoholics.
Yeah. I did say, I said I was going to wear my Budweiser t-shirt for this one. It's over there.
You did, didn't you?
Pause the recording. I'm going to change.
Fair enough, mate.
Hey, changed. Magic.
So synchronized.
But I am drinking Jack Daniels and Coke tonight out of a can because I'm poor.
I'm on a bottle of Beck's, which is the size of my future. So,
big?
In fact, it is 660 ml.
Oh, it's the big one. The big boys. It's like double the regular bottles, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, alcoholics at the age of 18.
It comes with the territory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Anyway, last week we had Daryl and Michael on. Obviously, I had a good laugh with that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was very fun. So thank you to them for coming on.
Yeah.
Just chatting away, listening to our bullshit for a while.
However, it did bring up the topic halfway through it, and it's something that I realised and I fucked up on. Finlay has quite a decorated history in karate, and we've never really gone into it, so that's what we're going to do today. But before we do that, thank you for all the support as always. If you listen on Spotify, Deezer, YouTube, all that jazz is fucking mint.
Whatever
really
streaming platform you choose to use, thank you for listening.
And we also have a special message, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So, our friend's 5th birthday tomorrow.
Fifth birthday.
It's our good mate Dan's 19th tomorrow. So,
Batman Dan.
To you, Batman Dan. Happy birthday, lad. We're going to all take a now.
Slauncher. For those who don't know, slauncher means cheers in Irish.
You know when you're down a bit too much of a drink, then you expect something like the second bit just stays in your mouth when you swallow. Yeah.
Jesus. This has started well, hasn't it?
It has, hasn't it? I mean, to be honest, I'm knackered. Like, I was supposed to be in work on Saturday and Sunday, like going back into it, and it got delayed a week because of all the COVID shit that's going on at the moment. So I was resorted my sleeping pattern. I've been waking up at 6:30 in the morning every day.
What time have you been going to bed though?
Yesterday I managed through till midnight, but the night before I went to bed at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock in the evening?
Yeah.
Oh, decent that.
It's been fucked. But the only reason I was staying up last night was so I could watch the Mysteries live.
Yes, and he enjoyed that thoroughly, didn't he?
I did. Leah Metcalf from the Mysteries, she pointed to me and said, "You've got a decent beard." So obviously I had this week. And you know,
Luke met a lover.
Yeah, there was that. But so basically, the way it was doing, it was the Close Encounter Club, which was fucking mint. And they asked you to have your camera and your microphone in so they can hear you like clapping or shit and they can see you. So in it, I was in like in the top left corner because I think I was the first person in the queue in it to it. Excuse me, sorry.
She's a desperate bastard.
Any chance. So there was this lass who was next to me and we basically started taking a piss going, well, yeah, you're all right. And I just like looking at each other even though we can't hear or speak to each other. So I'm on the hunt for her. She will be I can't we'll go for that. I was going to make it a joke, but I realised because we can't edit at the moment.
She's your Tracy, what's she called in How I Met Your Mother? Tracy McSomething.
Tracy.
I literally watched it this morning.
Is it Tracy McDonald?
It's Tracy McSomething. I watched it this morning. Fuck me.
It is,
because it's when they've got the umbrella and he goes, "See, it's got my initials, Ted Mosey." And she goes, "No, that's my initials,
TM Tracy
McConnell." That's it.
How I Met Your
Yeah.
Mother's mint. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
I still
then,
hate the ending. I still hate it.
yeah, the ending is shit. So obviously, if you think, oh, well, Luke, your reaction to this gig's gone dead well. And I don't want to speak bad on the Mysterines and the future wife. Uh, but it got caught half an hour short there because she lost her voice, bless her. But it was decent. Lime was one of the prelim acts. They're fucking mint. They're from Brighton, but, still decent. And
Being from Brighton.
just shit. It automatically means you shit. And then the Chapua Wrestling, it were fairly all right as well. So I've got some new
Fair play.
music to listen to, I suppose.
Yeah, man.
But anyway,
Yeah.
enough about me. This is all about you today, Finlay boy. But
Oh,
haha, guess
Jesus
what?
Christ.
Psych, bro code time.
Bro code time, boys. Bang.
It's a time.
Yours is facing the right way. Mine's always in reverse.
So for me, I can see it, but my camera will reflect in the
It flips
recording.
it. Yeah, it flips it. Yeah.
So everything looks backwards, but it is right. So
yeah.
Give me a
Sorted.
number, and I'll give you a number.
I'm gonna say 133.
And I'm going to say 18 for you.
18.
So 133 for Lukey. Right. Right. Are you ready to listen to this bro code extract?
Yes, I am.
Article 133. A bro only claims a fart after first accusing at least one other bro. Exception, pull my finger.
Awesome.
Never.
Awesome.
I never own up.
Awesome. No, after you've blamed someone, after you've blamed a bro, you can just be like, psych, it was me.
Now, you know what is the funniest thing, though? When you blame someone else and they get so defensive and go, no,
Yeah.
it was me, and everyone thinks it's 40 is fault.
Yeah. Anyway, Article 18 of the Bro Code. If a bro spearheads a beer run at a party, he is entitled to any excess monies accrued after canvassing the group. Note, to avoid confrontation, it's a good idea for the bro to jettison the receipt before returning to the party.
This would help if we were American, wouldn't it?
No, I know what it means.
All right, so can you explain it?
Yeah, so basically, if you're at a party and you offer to do a beer run, the bro in question, who's doing the beer run, gets any excess money that the bros have given them.
Yeah, fair enough.
But the note means to avoid confrontation, it's a good idea for the bro to jettison the receipt before returning to the party.
So get rid of the receipt.
To get rid of the receipt and say it was more than it was.
Ooh, yeah, good idea.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the daily bro code or the weekly bro code installation.
Decent.
So you're welcome.
We are going to find, well, excuse me again, sorry. I'm going to find the playbook and you're going to order it as well,
I'm going to order it, yeah.
It'll be decent. Also, I would like to say I got a bit of grief after last week's podcast.
Why?
Apparently, I looked ridiculous in a beanie, so I sort of resolved that.
Oh, he does look like the shoes you ordered, doesn't he?
Mate, the fucking thing that got sent in the group chat with the lads.
It's the big show.
That really fucked me off, you know. I was dead annoyed about that. I was literally like, "Are you taking a miss?" Just like,
it's funny.
Randos said that I looked like Steve Alson. I took that. I was happy with that. Yeah. You know, when I first did that, I got called True Geordie. I was happy with that. Why the fucking Big Show?
Big Show.
Sure, he's lost weight now, but no one's thinking about that, are they?
He's an icon.
Do you know what I mean?
He's an icon.
So,
but a joke in the wrestling world, as I am big into my wrestling, as everyone knows.
So
I don't know why.
On the terms of wrestling, fighting, etc., nice, tiny sort of half-hour segue into it.
Yeah.
So obviously, and I've known this the entire time we've done this podcast, but we've never really brought into topic much.
Mm-hmm.
And after last week's podcast, I was like, we need to do a proper full-on podcast about this. So, you know, how did karate start for you? Like, why did you start in the first place?
What I remember about it, I was 4 years old when I started. What I remember about it was I was at I think I went swimming with my family at St. Retford Leisure Centre. So for you non-Mancunians, that's Stretford, which is where I'm from, and it's only like 5 minutes down the road from me. And we went swimming, and where you were in the swimming baths, there was like this kind of long stretch corridor on the top floor, and it had windows in it. You could look in what was going on. I remember looking up. I was in the seating area of the swimming baths, which is like on the same floor, and I looked in and I saw people doing karate with this big, scary, bald man with a big beard, right?
I'm a time traveller.
Yeah, it was him. No, so I went, oh, that looks so cool. So I went up, had a look, and we kind of stood in like the little entrance way and saw what was going on. And I thought, as a 4-year-old kid, this is fucking badass. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks badass. So I said, Mum, Dad, I want to learn karate. So, yeah, I started when I was 4. Trained for a while on my own. And then I think about a year or 2 years later, my sisters then joined.
All right.
Because they were obviously about 18 to 20 months younger than me. So they joined after me, and then a couple of years down the line, my mum ended up joining as well.
All right. So it's sort of like a family trade then.
Yeah, family train. The only reason my dad couldn't join was because he had he was severely injured at the time. And no matter what, like obviously, so the big scary bald man with the beard was the highest ranking the highest ranking master in all of England.
Shit.
So when I was younger, I had him teaching me, big scary man. I had another bald scary man, but he was short and very, very scary. My God, he was terrifying.
What made him scary?
It's basically when they're talking in the Korean and they're calling out things, it sounds scary as a young kid. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
like intimidating.
Yeah, so like the original Karate Kid movies where you know Daniel LaRusso's come out of the diner and he's gone in, he's seen Cobra Kai, and he's gone in, and you've got John Kreese at the front, and he's going, Mr. Lawrence, warm him up, and he's just like, yes, sensei. But that's kind of what it was like. It was like intimidating, but at the same time, like while they're being intimidating, they're also teaching you to not be scared of it. Do you know what I mean? So when I was younger, I think I'd been training for about a year at this point. The shorter teacher was doing a demonstration. He used to do this thing, so he'd come to the front and he'd say, "Oh, we're going to do this move next." He'd say, "We'd do a kick," and he'd do the kick, but he'd do it specifically at someone's face. But he'd stop it. He'd stop it that far away from your face. And if you
so really putting the fear of life into someone.
Yeah. So if you flinch, you did 50 push-ups. And I remember the first time he ever did it to me. I was stood there. I was ready. He did it right here, right in between my eyes, and I didn't move. And after that, I kind of got this kind of like. After the class, obviously, he was really scary during the class. He kept that kind of like narrow-mindedness. But after the class, he come over and talked to me. He was obviously being a really young kid. He'd put his arm around me and said that was really good. Like, I like the fact that you didn't flinch because a lot of people do. Do you know what I mean? And when I'm teaching now, I still do the same thing. And, you know, it's carried on. But that was kind of the start of it. I trained for 5 years to get through the belts. And then after that 5th year, I was 9 years old and I went to train for my first black belt, and I did that test and I passed it first time. Shit. And at the time, and I'm not sure if this still stands, I think it might do, but at the time I was the youngest person to ever get the first dan in England.
Shit. So, you know, obviously from going off what you said, you know, you were a natural basically in the sense of things, that you were doing it fairly quickly. So I would imagine that you were a very fast learner in the sense.
Yeah, I don't like to say I like to say I'm a fast learner, but I don't like to think that I'm a natural. I was never a natural at it. There are people who are very obviously naturals, but I kind of gained the nickname Sponge when I was younger because I'd just soak up all this information and learn it really quickly. And that was another scary bald guy who called me Sponge. I loved him, Steve Heaney, what a legend. But yeah, so I trained for 5 years, got that first black belt, and I was the youngest person in the UK to get that first black belt, but I can't remember if that still stands or if
Finlay,
it
I love
was
you because we've
any
got a
wider.
banging title now. Youngest black belt in Britain.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously that first 5 years of training kind of come without any kind of wobbles or hinges or like hitches with it. And then after that, I hit a roadblock where the people who I'd originally started training under, they'd all either stopped or the master Hedges, he'd kind of moved over to teach closer to him in Preston. So he wasn't coming down to Stretford all the time because we'd be late quite a lot because it's hard to get down here. But yeah, I was learning under different people at the time, and then after that, you were meant to do like 2 more years of training and then go for your second one. And I hit a roadblock and said I don't want to do it because I was really young, and I had no idea like whether I could actually do it or not. Because it's all changed now. Really, when I did that first black belt, the test was you did what you learned. So you kind of like sequences and then like all these moves and a bit of sparring and some like self-defense, knife defense, stuff like that. And then you'd go and like chop a cinder block.
Yeah.
And then because I waited, how long was it? I waited 3 more years after that to do my second. So I did my second. Oh wait, no. It was 5 years after that I did my second.
Right.
So I was 14 when I did my second. So in that 5 years, they'd taken out doing that chopping of the cinder block. They'd had a whole structure change. At Stretford, there was a whole different kind of group of people running it. And it was really, really different. And I really didn't like it at the start when I came back because I ended up breaking my foot and having to lay it off another year. And then I came back and I tested and I did it. But I was still thinking I can be so much better than this because I trained under someone who was so much better than who's teaching me now, and he was a lot harsher on me. And I had the funniest story is when I came back after that 5 years, I went to this first grading just to show support and help out. I wasn't actually doing any testing, and I was stood in the lineup, and Hedges is stood right in front of me, and he hasn't seen me in 5 years. And he looks me up and down and goes, "You're right, Finn." And I go, "You're right, sir." But even after that 5 years has passed, he still treats me the same. I don't get a handshake when I see him. I get a punch in the stomach. I don't get trained the same way that other people do. I get trained in the lineup. He'll come and stand right next to me when we're doing something and just punch me in the stomach until I do it right. Or he'll kick me in the leg until I do it right. Or he'll just keep punching me and kicking me.
It sounds like quite a brutal training regime.
Yeah, and that's what I grew up on. Bearing in mind, I started born in 2004, 2002. So I started in 2006-ish. And that kind of, the first 5 years was very brutal. And even after that, it carried on to be still quite brutal when I was learning under this guy.
So when you were doing it when you were younger, sorry to interrupt you, but when you were doing it when you were younger, was it more for fun or did you generally just enjoy it and you knew it was good for you? Like, what was your inspiration behind it?
It's weird because obviously my inspiration behind it was the fact that it looked so cool. Like that's the first thing that I think most people who do enjoy martial arts, the first thing they think when they look at it and they've never done it before is that looks cool. But it was also the fact that it was literally like that scene in the Karate Kid movies when I discovered it. It was literally like that scene, but I hadn't had a fight with one of the students. And the beauty of it was that it was so intense and it was so intimidating that I wanted that to be part of me. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be this kind of like kid who'd never experienced any kind of tough learning or like grit or anything like that. And that's what I learned. I learned grit, I learned toughness, I learned bit of everything. But along that kind of like intimidating, kind of tough area, there's also learning respect, etiquette, learning about yourself in a way that you're learning breathing and how to control, like it's how to control your body. And there's all these kind of theories. You know the yin yang theory.
Mm.
Yeah, we call it yang. So it's the same thing, but it's just the Korean version. So yang is the black and is the white. So the white is the calmness and the fluidity of everything, and the black is the tension and the aggression. So you're learning that at the same time. You're just learning. To some people, it just looks like moves, but in every move, there's fluidity and kind of like calmness, and then at the end of that, there's tension and aggression. But that all changed after that 5 years. I was never getting taught in the same way.
So what made you want to take this break? Obviously, you said you broke your foot, and that can't be helped, but was there a particular reason why?
Yeah, the main reason I took the break was because I was so young and I didn't think I was ready. When in reality, I probably was going to be able to be ready, but I didn't feel like I would be because I wasn't being taught by the same person. I was getting taught by 4 or 5 different people a week. Do you know what I mean? And that for me is not healthy, and it's not good for me, because you learn different things from one person and you go and learn something completely opposite that may contradict that other person, which I think is quite it's quite negative in a way. And you do get that a lot. Like I've experienced it a lot, where there's so much like contradiction. But originally I was just going to take a year out, and then a year turned into 2 years. I don't know why. And then a year turned into 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And then it turned into 4, and then I broke my foot in that 4th year. So then it had to become 5. But in that 4th and 5th year, I was training. It was the first 3 that I wasn't. In that first 3 years, I just really didn't want to go.
Obviously, you're going into your adolescence, so obviously you're doing a lot of growing up. Do you think that took a factor into it?
Yeah, because there were, there's still this kind of stigma about it, where people would see that I've actually done karate and they think, oh, karate's like lame, it's weird, you're a fucking weirdo. Like, they take the piss out of it. And I've experienced that a lot as well, where the most infamous one is when I was coming out of training one time, absolutely dripping with sweat. I mean, so you've got to wear the gi, or the dobok as we call it, and it straps round like that. And I've been warming up. I've done heavy sparring. I've done teaching. I've then done a lot of working out on top of that in the 2-hour class. And I've come out and my belt's around my shoulder. My uniform's just like ripped open. And I'm walking down the corridor out of this sports hall where we were training at the time. And after that training session, we'd have like a bunch of kids lining up in that corridor because we wanted to go to a fucking roller disco at Stretford. Like, I'd be there like, all right, okay. I remember walking down this corridor, and there's this kid who's in my sister's year, and he went to my primary school, and he did that whole wah thing at me. So everyone was looking at him going, what the fuck are you doing? I turned around, I snapped at that moment, turned around, gripped him up by the scruff of the neck, lifted him up. Like,
I would have slapped him, to be honest.
Yeah, no, but this is something I've seen happen in karate.
It's teaching him a lesson, putting him in.
Yeah, I've seen my master do this to a student. So that's just the thing that immediately came to my head. So I lifted him up, grabbed him up by there, and I said, I don't think it's a wise idea to take the piss out of a 2nd degree black belt when you're lining up to go roller skating in Stretford fucking leisure centre. And he looked at me, and he fear of God in his fucking eyes, because he didn't know what to do. And all his mates were around him, but none of them were doing anything. Because I was walking out, and there was a 3rd degree black belt next to me, big, massive guy called Leon. Another 2nd degree black belt next to me, 6 foot something, scary as fuck, built like a brick. And then the master comes walking down, and at the time he was mid-50s.
Yeah.
he don't give a shit. He tears off that uniform and he's walking down Stretford Leisure corridor with tattoos down his chest, scars all up his arms, more tattoos down his arms. This guy has like tattoos going down here, and he's terrifying. He's about 6 foot, and he's bald, and he's got this massive beard, and he is terrifying.
Finlay, I can't
And
believe
these
you
kids are like
exposed
13,
that
14.
tattoos, man.
But yeah, so after that, I never really gave a shit about what anyone said about me doing karate, because I know at my heart it made me happy. And
Yeah, well,
I've not
that's the
trained
most
in a while
important
at the
thing you
moment.
can do.
Yeah, I'm not trained in a while at the moment, but I still know when I go back, I'll still enjoy it no matter what. Like I'm not the most flexible guy. I'm not the best in the world at it, but it clears my head. It makes me feel there's a drive about getting better and better. So that's what I want, and it's always been there.
So obviously, when you came back after the 5 years, obviously you said it was completely different and that. Did you see, how long did you see out for until obviously COVID has happened and that's not helped things, but how long were you doing it for?
So that kind of 5 year period took me to when I was 14. I then did that. I did that second dan test on that age of 14. And then I kept training. And there's bits where I take bits out, but that second dan test, I was sparring a guy who I originally did my first dan test with all those years ago. Who he's 6 foot. He's absolutely amazing. He's incredible at what he does. And I was sparring him, and I went to throw a punch, and I left all my right side open. He caught me with a back kick and broke all that side of my ribs, cracked them. It's absolutely shattered. So that put me on, I think it was 2-3 months no training. Obviously breathing was horrible. Couldn't sneeze. Like sneezing would just absolutely kill me. But yeah, so after that, that's the thing, that didn't shake my confidence at all. Well, I say it didn't shake my confidence. It didn't shake the kind of drive I wanted, the drive I had to go training. It did kind of shake my confidence when I was sparring, and I still don't like sparring. I don't like fighting really.
But I know this from you. You're not a very aggressive guy. You know, you're you like the BFG.
I'm zen.
You're very fucking zen.
I'm zen.
What I mean? I've never seen you get into an argument with anybody bar Lauren. And that's it.
Yeah, well, that's all in good nature. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There is times when I do lose my cool, but then after that, there's like the thought, why did I do that? Do you know what I mean? Because I don't need to. But yeah, that shook my confidence of sparring and stuff. So when I think I went training after that, 2 months was up where I couldn't train at all, and I was still kind of feeble in my ribs and stuff. And I got pulled up to do 2-on-1 sparring because there was someone else who was going for that next second black belt, and he wanted to use me as a fucking demonstration. Of course he did. So he pulls me up. So when we're sparring in class, you get everyone to like circle up, and then you spread out and you sit down, so you've got like a ring around you.
Yeah.
And he's got me up. He's got Finn up, and I go, all right. And he goes, "You're gonna show him how to do 2-on-1 sparring?" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "You're gonna show him how to." And he goes, "You're gonna show him how to do 2-on-1 sparring?" And I went, "I'm not being funny, but do I have to remind you what happened last time I sparred someone?" And he went, "Why? What happened?" And I went, "You know fucking what happened. I cracked one side of my ribs." And he was like, "Oh, it's fine. So he pulls me up against this older guy who I've got a history of sparring with later on, who kicked me in the bollocks, and then I sparked him out by accident. And then Leon, big, massive. He was quite weighty at the time, and he was one of the people that trained me when I was younger. I was like, fuck's sake, because every time I've sparred Leon, I've never been able to get a hit in at all, because he has this weird kind of thing where he does this and he just moves like that, and you can't get anything on him. And the other guy, I was just like, right, I'll just focus on him. And there was, it was really weird to be back in that situation, but the training side of it, I was just as good as before. I was just as passionate, just as happy to do it. And it sounds weird, but I love, I love the kind of feeling when at the end of a class and I've put my absolute blood, sweat and tears into it and I'm dripping with sweat and I just kind of sit there on the side and I just breathe for a minute, and that is the best feeling in the world.
It's like a moment of evaluation where you're looking into all the work that
Yeah.
you've done. You're going, you know what? I fucking left everything out there. I've done a fucking decent job.
Yeah, and that's what I go in to do all the time. Like, there's not a time where I go into training and think I'm not going to give it my all tonight. Despite the fact I've been in with, carrying things that I didn't want to carry into that session. But as soon as you walk through that door, that kind of threshold of the
Everything's just
the
gone.
training area, it's just gone, and
that.
it's tunnel vision. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
But like, I'm not body-wise, I'm not the healthiest person in the world. So I've had injuries that have carried through and kind of hindered my training quite a lot. I've got a permanent limp. If you see it, I don't know if you've noticed it or not.
I thought that was just your gait.
But no, yeah, I've got a permanent limp. So when I was young, I was snowboarding and I crashed into a barrier on my hip. And underneath the barrier it was metal, and all my groin and my hips fucked up. So I've got kind of a bit of a permanent limp, and on that same side I've got a bit of a issue with my left knee, where when I was younger I had a metal bar go poke onto my kneecap, split that open. I had to get that glued back together. So that's like, that acts up every now and again, and ankles and stuff like that. It's just, it takes a toll on your body.
Yeah, like every sport does. Obviously,
Yeah.
I can imagine that karate is a lot more demanding than some other sports. Well,
Yeah.
in comparison, some sports are more demanding in that sense. So, obviously, now in a COVID world, where do you see yourself going forward in the next few months or years, etc.?
Well, basically, so obviously we had to shut down for COVID. And at the time I was training in Earlham. I was just getting back to going to Stretford, because the people who are running it, I do train with them at Earlham, but they're lower ranking than me. They're a whole grade lower than me, and they're teaching a class, and they're not teaching very well. So I went back to Stratford to kind of, I want to say help out, but I was I was taking the higher grades. So red belt, which is the one before black belt, I was taking that lot who wanted to go for the black belt and teaching them the way that I was taught, not the way that the other guy's teaching him or whoever's at Earlham's teaching him. I was teaching them the way that I was taught, which is you scare them straight first, and then if they come back, then you teach them.
But I'll say, because it's always good to show that, I'm the one in charge here. It's my way, or you can fuck off.
And a lot of people see that as kind of big-headedness or cockiness, but it's not. It's you've got
you need them
it's
to
a
have
hierarchy
respect for you. Yeah,
it's a hierarchy, and there's respect in that hierarchy. But yeah, I remember coming into that first class at Stratford and seeing this guy didn't have the right colour on his neck on his uniform, and I said, "Where's your trim?" And he goes, "Oh, I didn't know I needed one." I go, "Next time I see you, I want you to have red on that uniform." And a week later, he comes in with red. And that's when I started teaching properly. And the other guy, that same week, there was this lad, reminded me a lot of me when I was younger. He was starting the class. He came in late, missed the warm-up, then didn't warm up, and then just joined straight in, which is big no. That's a big no in the way I was taught. So I pulled him aside, grabbed him by the belt, and I said, do you want to fucking be here? And he goes, "Oh, I'm just tired." And I went, "Don't give a shit when you're tired. I don't care whether you woke up an hour ago, whether you woke up 4 hours ago, whether you woke up the way you haven't been to sleep. You come here, you train, and if you don't train, or if you stand about he was standing about with his arms folded, being a knobhead. And I said, if you're going to stand about like that, you can get the fuck out." And after that, he snapped out of it. But yeah, so as I was saying, in the COVID-wise, we shut down. and that's when I was proper hammering it in. I was going every like at least 3-4 times a week. And then we had to shut down, and I didn't hear anything from the guy who was running Earlham. He was meant to be running all these classes in Earlham, Stretford, and Eccles. I didn't hear anything from him. Didn't know whether we'd shut down. I didn't know whether we were going to be doing it. Like, he was going to get in touch with me, if he was going to, like, when we were going to reopen. I had nothing from him. And then I think 2 months ago, I eventually found out that he'd just quit completely.
Oh, wow.
So this whole area has been taken over by Hedges and us. So I'll be running a bit of it here and there. But yeah, I didn't hear anything from him, which is a pain in the
It's
arse,
a bit of a
because he is.
shame.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's a big-headed knobhead, this guy, and he always has been. He always has been. Like, he's the same rank as me. He tested, I think, 2 years before I did, so he got his rank before me. But despite that, I'm still higher ranking based on, like,
Yeah.
so you get given a number, and that's like whatever. So obviously I did my first black belt like 5 years before he did, so I'm a hell of a lot more senior. And he was very sour about that, and he didn't really like teaching me. But yeah, I didn't hear anything from him, so I eventually went back to training in I think it was end of August, start of September. Went back to training. I had to go all the way to Ormskirk to train, but that's,
It's all right
open,
going
so I'm
there
going.
now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, so I thought it's good to go there than just go nowhere. So me and Mum get in the car, go train. Obviously, I'd put on a bit of weight over lockdown, so my
I think
uniform
everyone
wasn't fitting
has,
great.
just,
My uniform wasn't fitting great, but yeah, it was different, to say the least. We were in a very small space with about 13 people training, and it was different because we couldn't do a lot of the same things that we did. And hopefully, obviously, the issue is because our training was on a Monday, and six-a-side
Oh no!
took a lot of priority for me because I was
Yeah.
very passionate about it. And I did miss a couple of weeks of six-a-side just to go training, but now, based on the way six-a-side's going,
Yeah, I mean the fact that I'm having to
yeah,
play again, but the thing is, and we'll gloss over it later on
yeah,
in more detail, but it's changing every week. That looks like it's on the up again, but we don't really know.
we don't know, yeah,
We'll leave that for now. The one thing
yeah,
I was very curious to know about. So obviously you're a second degree black belt.
third.
You are the third. How did the third come about?
Third came about after I did my second at 14. I found out, basically what happened was I did that second at 14, and you meant to wait like 6 months to then find out if you passed. So 6 months came about, and went to the next grading for the next group of people that were doing their black belt tests, and it was actually a lot of people that I'd trained with and I knew that were doing these tests. Bless you.
I had to mute myself there.
Yeah. So I went to that next group, and then all these people have been presented with so you get a certificate, and you get, a handshake and a congratulations or whatever, but it's all very formal. And all these people are getting the certificates, and I'm thinking, hang on, shouldn't I be getting mine? And it put a bit of fear into me. I was thinking, did I not pass this? But the weird thing was I was the only one that tested that time round. It was just me on my own, and I was doing everything on my own in a sports hall with about 50, 60 people watching me, just me in the centre. And it was absolutely terrifying. And I fucked up once. I fucked up one thing, and then I just reset it quickly and went, oh, that's the wrong thing. So, it was putting the fear of God in me. I was thinking, shit, like, maybe I'm not passed. A couple more months went by, a couple more people got their certificates, and I went, my dad was thinking, well, he's done this over a year ago now. and he's then eventually gone and asked Hedges, and my parents are very good friends with him, and we're all very good friends. He went up to him and went, listen, Hedges, Finlay did this test over a year ago, and he's not, found out if he's passed or not, and he's not got a certificate. And Hedges just turned around to me and go, fucking hell. And then I went, what? And he went, well, you passed, obviously. And I went, oh, right, okay. And he went, I forgot to tell you, yeah, because everything gets sent over to Korea, and then they send over the certificates. And he went, I was told that your certificate was on its way, but it must have just got lost, or I've lost it. And I went, it's more likely that you've lost it in it. And he went, yeah, probably. So yeah, I found out that I passed it. It then came 2 years after I'd done this test. I finally got my certificate. And I've got. Let me see.
I'll say, do you want me to pause it while you go get your certificate?
Yeah, I've got.
Right.
Hold on.
We're back in a second, guys.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're back.
Right. So this one in the frame here is my first ever one. I don't know if you can read any of that.
Yeah.
But I'll kind of read a bit out of it to you. So dance certificate. It's got a bunch of Korean writing on it that I can't actually read. This up here is my Dan number. So that means like what I was the 47,751st person to get a black belt in the art.
Nice.
And then it tells me I was in the 128th Dan class in championship. And that was my first Dan. This one attached is my second, and then I've got my third behind me, which is my most recent one. This one I'm actually very proud of. I probably should straighten this one out because it's a very, like, more special than the other two. This one's my third Dan one. So I was in the 143rd Dan classing, and it was this one was actually presented to me by the Grandmaster of the entire art.
That is another thing I was going to go into. So do you want to explain that in more detail?
Yeah. So a while ago now, I think it was in February, we got him, the Grandmaster came over from Korea to do a seminar with us, and unfortunately I couldn't go to the seminar because I was working. It was very short notice, so I couldn't get any cover. But they had a meal after, and we went to the meal. And it was all very etiquette and respect wise. You've got to stand up when he comes in. He walks in with kind of like, it looks like an entourage, but it's just the people around him who are like his kind of loyal, kind of like masters of the art. So we had the entire meal. Sit down,
You had everyone's food.
No, yeah. I wish. Yeah, we had the meal. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's having a laugh, and I wasn't 18 at this point, but I was drinking a bit, so I was a bit worried that I would get a bit too drunk before I went up. But I didn't.
Just go up to it and goes, right, listen, you.
Yeah.
Some things I want to fucking change.
But yeah, I was all right. I wasn't drunk. I went up, and there was 3 or 4 of us in the line. And he comes up individually to all of us, and he's the guy before me was a guy who I tested my first Dan with and my third Dan with. Biggest knobhead in the industry. Like, he's just a twat. And he's giving it, you bow, he's giving it to you, he's giving you a handshake, and he said, well done. And then he comes up to me and he goes, Hedges has told me a lot about you.
Oh,
I didn't know whether to, I didn't know whether to take that as good or bad. But he said, no, Hedges has told me a lot about you. Congratulations on this. You deserve it. So yeah, he gave me that. But there's a lot on this. So this little red thing in the top corner, if you can see it, that's it's a finger, it's a thumbprint kind of thing. That's like an official stamp of it. So my master had just told me about this. He said this art that I do was a very, very, very kind of respected thing in Korea during, like, Korea had a bunch of conflict, and people would try and forge these to make it look like they were more respectful people. But yeah, that's kind of the most, like, this is the most kind of,
would you say that's your proudest
thing
moment?
That this is my proudest ever achievement in life. Like,
in life, full stop.
all of this is my proudest ever achievement. Like, even if I go on to become like a first degree master, which I'm hoping I will, this will always be the one that's presented to me by the grandmaster of the entire organization,
Yeah.
which is incredible. Right, I'm gonna go put these back so I don't do anything stupid. So
I'll pause it again. We're back in a second, guys.
So,
and we're back because Finlay's eating.
Yeah,
I
man.
thought, why not?
I'm scranning. Why? I just wanted to eat. But yeah.
It's banned on the Finlay and Luke show. So I suppose the next natural question is, what's the next step for you? Is it getting your masters?
Ideally, yeah. The only issue I'm going to kind of run into is, we don't know what's going on with COVID. The local areas to me still haven't been reopened,
right?
Which is a big issue. And university, if I go to Edge Hill,
is that looking like the plan?
Well, I've applied to Edge Hill. I've got an application. Well, I've not applied yet. I've not sent it off, but I need to do my personal statement. But I've got Edge Hill down, Liverpool Hope, UCLan, Huddersfield, which I'm not going anywhere near with a 10-foot barge pole, but it was the only other place that did the course that I wanted, and Leeds Trinity. So the only places that if karate was a big thing to me, and it is, Liverpool and Edge Hill, or UCLan. Like, UCLan would be pretty ideal if Hedges reopens his place in Preston. Like, that would be ideal.
So, at uni, what course you doing? I take it it's a separate course and not just karate.
Yeah, it's educational psychology.
All right, nice one. I'm thinking about maybe going to uni. Obviously, I decided to take my year out.
Yeah.
My plan was to be working. But yeah,
we all know how that's gone. Ooh,
yeah,
that's the team.
But can I just say,
yeah,
nice one, Andy Burnham. What a man!
Burnham. My captain, captain, my captain. Andy Burnham.
Is there anything?
I have met him. I have met Andy Burnham, by the way.
I thought you did, but I didn't want to say it. I was being a tit.
Yeah, met Andy Burnham. Absolutely amazing guy. Beautiful man.
Seems like a top guy.
Oh, he's
fair
amazing.
enough, I suppose. Yeah. So, is there anything that you want to mention about karate? Anything that I've not picked up on? Like, obviously, you said your proudest moment. Is there like a certain low point in mind?
I mean, the low point was probably there's two things that come to mind with my low point. Was obviously having to take them 5 years out and losing a lot of time. Like, there was all kinds of records that could have been broken there. Like, I've missed a proper opportunity there to kind of, if that 5 years out probably hindered my ability quite a lot. Which is a big regret, because I know I can be better. And there's no saying that I'm not going to get better, but there's that 5 years there, or that 3 years plus the 2 that I was training, that kind of could have had a bigger impact on it. But the other low point is just before I was doing my third dan, when I was training those 3 years from 14 to 17, there was times where I'd just go into class and I just couldn't do it. Like, for me, but there was a personal low point there outside of karate that kind of I'd go into class and my head wouldn't be in it. And normally I'd do like a first class and then we'd do like an extra class after for an hour, where I'd concentrate on what I was learning instead of having to go and teach. But yeah, there was times where I could barely get through that first hour without kind of, breaking down mentally or physically, because there was a lot of times I'd go into that class and be physically drained, where my body just wouldn't give into it. Like, my body was just like in awful condition, and it still is, but that kind of mental block has gladly passed over a bit, so it's not as difficult. But it was really difficult at times where I'd go in and I didn't want to train. I didn't have the energy to go and teach. I didn't have any passion behind it, and that's the dangerous point, where if you let yourself stay in that element, then you just give it up. And I've known a lot of people over the years have given up after they've got like the first black belt, and it's a shame, really, because they were all really talented. But
yeah, it is a shame. I remember last week when we were speaking to Daryl and Michael, they were speaking in the sense of when it gets to a point, they were starting to fall out with love for football. Obviously, it's a bit different for them. Daryl's pursuing refereeing. Michael, they're both part of a men's team now. They got six side. Michael's at university. Daryl's at university and refereeing. So there's leaps and roundabouts when it comes to it. Would you say there is a definitive time where you had no love whatsoever for karate? You just didn't want anything to do with it. Completely fresh new start.
Yeah, it was 2018, the bridge between 2018 and 19, when I was in that first year of sixth form.
God, those years are just so good, aren't they?
Well, that's the thing. 2018 to me was up until like the summer was like the best year of my life. Like,
we really differ on that one.
Yeah, that summer of 2018 was possibly the best summer of my life, and then I bridged over to college for the first time, obviously going into BTH sixth form, and going from 2018 to like just before August 2019, or possibly even carrying on from August 2019 when I was working as NCS. Like, I was in such a horrific place, and that impacted my karate a lot. There was a lot of times when, as I was saying before, there was a lot of times I was going around, I just couldn't bring myself to do anything like worthwhile, and my body gave up on me quite a lot. There was a lot of kind of minor injuries in that time where I think subconsciously I gave them injuries to myself on purpose. Like, a lot of them came from not stretching and over, like it's weird because there was times where I'd underperform on purpose, and there's times where I'd overperform on purpose, where I'd push my body over a limit where I knew it couldn't go, and I completely damaged my ankles and my knees even more, and my hip and my groin were just absolutely gone, and they were shot to shit. But after that, I kind of grabbed myself by the scruff of the neck and pulled myself out of it, luckily. And it improved a lot from there, and the passion came back. But I'm glad that passion did come back, because if it didn't, I don't know what I'd be doing right now.
I think, obviously, while it's different in everyone's case, I think there are times in people's lives when, you have these commitments and you have shit going on outside of that commitment. Whether it's at home, school, friends, family, it could be anything. I think one of the most underrated things is having something like you have karate, something to just put everything in while you're so mentally and physically drained from it, and you don't want to do it. In the long run, it's probably like the best thing. I know, me personally, when I've had my shit times, I just did fuck all. I sat around, felt, I didn't even feel sorry for myself. I just felt shit. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's so important to have an outlet like you have in karate.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't see that benefit to it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of, after that kind of hiatus I took, that passion came back, and I'm glad it did. And then I trained and I trained and I trained and I trained, and I was just physically drained by the time I'd done that second black belt test, and it took its toll. I had my ribs broken, and that it worsened it even more. And then I got back up on my feet, and I felt more kind of confident in a way, and I felt more passionate about it. I kept training, and then that low point hit, and it would have been very easy for me to stop going completely. And no matter what, I still went every week, at least once a week, when I could go. And that's where I'm quite proud of it, because it is very easy to give up in that point. And although I was either underperforming or completely overperforming and destroying my body, I was still going, and that was something which showed a lot in me. And it kind of improved towards that kind of end of 2019, where a close friend of mine from Cornwall moved up to Manchester to go to university, and he started training with me, and I hadn't seen him in a fair while before that, and it kind of having someone else there that was really kind of at my level and had the same kind of age. It was the same kind of age as me. Was really good, because me and him could bounce off each other. We'd always take extra training sessions. We'd always go there and push ourselves and do a lot. And there was a video that me and him did for like a worldwide video for the organization, and we made it onto the video. And that was some really good work that we did together. And then later in 2019, me and another pal from karate went down to visit him in Cornwall. Like, we took a 12. We were on a coach for 12 hours just to get there, spend that evening there, the next day there, and then leave the next morning. So,
you know what? I've just thought of a joke in my head, and it's nothing to do with you, and it's to do with me. And I had a feeling you were thinking of it as well.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
How much was the coach?
Yeah. £35. Cheap as fuck.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, stupid bastard.
Still 170 quid down.
Yeah. Oh well.
If you're listening, you have my bank account details. Anyway.
Oh my god, yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think I've talked quite a lot about this, and I think I'm getting sick of my own voice. I'm not gonna lie. You are probably getting even more sick of my voice. Sorry.
I'll tell you what, mate. It's really intriguing to me, because also we've been friends for a few years now.
Quite a while now.
Yeah. And obviously, I've always known that you done karate, but we've never spoke about it in depth. And you would have think having this since what, April, May, we've had this since. Do you know what I mean?
Talking about it, but yeah. I think the reason we haven't spoken about it is because I haven't been training, and it's been different. But there is so much more I can talk about on this regarding like how, like, the theory behind it and stuff like that, and how intriguing it actually is. But that would probably take me about 4 hours over what we planned. So
there's definitely, no matter what, we will speak about this again.
Yeah,
another podcast definitely to this. I think what we'll do now is we will have a quick break.
Yes, I need to get to another one.
When we come back, we will speak about Sixth Side. We'll have a general chat. It was anything to chat about. Yeah, and then we'll have your chatting shit, mate.
Yes.
And Luke's question of the week.
So, yeah, Barbie.
Sounds good. So anyway, we will be back in we'll be back in a millisecond. Millisecond every single goddamn fucking time. It's mint. So anyway, we are back. Obviously, in the first half, we've spoken a considerable amount about men dressed in white going, "Hiya." I know that I'd not yet.
Sadly, yes.
No, I was very interested. I really enjoyed it. One of the things we did gloss over as well is Six Aside. We spoke about how it was a bit in the shitter, and we spoke about it last week with Daryl and Michael. So last Monday, right, we were considerably short on people. Got some people from a team that we've now merged with. And
Barcelona.
Finlay tells Daryl, I'm going to be a bit late. So what happened? The spotlight shone on me. I threw me vape to the floor. I didn't. I placed it very neatly. I don't want to break it. I had me fleece on. I put my beanie on, and I went up front.
You looked very stylish when I arrived.
I did. I was wearing fucking green khaki tracksuit pants as well, and some trainers. So I was sliding everywhere. I got an assist, and you're thinking, "Fucking let's." We lost 5-1.
Yeah, we were 1-0 up for a while.
Yeah, and then we lost 5-1.
Yeah.
But you know what?
I'd immediately after I come on the pitch.
No, they're top of the league. They are a good team.
Yeah, they are really good.
We've gone from third to fifth, which is really devastating. But the team that we're coming up against tomorrow, they're a new team in the league. We have
Yeah,
we have a strong squad. And I'm started up front again because at first when I played, I thought I played shit, and then everyone I spoke with who said, "Fucking hell, you did all right." So I'm somehow being roped into starting up front because I play such a specific way when I play at striker because I know I don't have the pace. When a few years ago when I was considerably a bit healthier, I sort of regained that a bit, but then I did my knee in again, so I just lost everything basically.
Yeah.
So it's basically like a shithouse 0304 Alan Shearer. So basically
And
hold the
then
ball, pass, let someone else shoot.
And then me on the ball, or me playing football, is considerably resembling Eric Jemba.
You can't say that when I'm drinking beer, man.
Because I may or may not have changed my Zoom name to Eric Jemba.
Basically, every week he
And
changes it.
every week I changed it. Last week I was Marina Joyce. The week before that I was Gary Glitter. I don't know
I
if we're
didn't
going to
see
have
the
to
Gary
bleep
Glitter
that.
one.
Yeah, you did.
I can't remember.
You did. I came in as Gary Glitter and you nearly choked on your own breath.
Which was that the We Made It to Spotify podcast?
No, that was the one before that.
So Donny Boy.
Yeah. Came in as Gary Glitter. I think I was Marina Joyce for 2 weeks and now I'm Eric Jemba. Next week I'm going to have to think of something new.
It's actually mad though when you think about it. Like we've been doing this since, like I say, April, May. We've only done 15 episodes. I would have thought we'd done a lot more. Obviously, we've took breaks.
We've had a few breaks here and there.
Like some were forced. Like I know I had to force a break, like last minute, because I was traveling unexpectedly.
Yep.
And then there's stuff like that. But I think like I can't remember. I think it was Daryl I was speaking to. I was like, you know what? Like it was in last week's episode. I was like, we've done a few shit ones. I think we both said. But I feel like the last few that we've done have been pretty fucking decent. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we just stepped up the quality a bit.
I think we've gotten used to being like on camera, like the idea that we're actually going onto YouTube instead of just like.
I think the Spotify thing really boosted it for us.
Yeah. Like I mean, earlier on in the creation days, we were just ridiculously off. Like, oh my god! Like I still remember that episode that didn't record.
Oh man, that was awful.
That was awful. But the amount of episodes we've done when we're absolutely hammered.
We've done a fair few. In fact, let me get it up.
It was the one. There was one where
the return of Finlay. We got pissed.
Yeah, the return of Finlay was the one where I was absolutely hammered.
So was I. So I'm trying to think. Return of Finlay, we did pissed. Trying to think. The Premier League preview one, which was shit, we got pissed.
Yeah. We've done loads where we're just casually drinking in them.
I think number 3, which was the music one.
Yeah, we were drinking.
We got pissed. And then when Lauren came on, I was drinking wine straight.
That was weird. At like 4:00 in the afternoon, he was drinking Glen Moray and wine.
Mate, in fact, let me get it for you now. Hang on, let me pause quickly, and then everyone who's watching can see it. Give me a sec. Right, so we're back in. Obviously, Glen Moray's considerably expensive, isn't it? And this was a full bottle, which I got this on June the 1st.
I mean, it's not the worst.
I went through a lot when I first got it.
Yeah, I know you did, yeah.
But you know what? I was having a shit time.
Yeah. I want a bottle of Glen McKenna.
Right. Glen McKenna isn't real.
Isn't real? I do still want a Glen McKenna.
It's Glen Morange or Glen Moray.
Yeah, but I'm going to put a Glen McKenna bottle on it.
It's just annoying because everyone's like, "Oh, I want some Glen McKenna like on How I Met Your Mother." No, it's not proper. It's only.
I know it's not proper.
And even then, it's not called Glen McKenna. It's called Glenmorangie. They have Glenmoray is more expensive though, and it's really nice. Like,
But the label for Glen McKenna is so sick.
so fucking lovely to smell.
But that's the thing. Like, I'm still yet to go out on a night out where I just feel the need to drink a scotch on the rocks.
Mate, I'm telling you, for the Christmas podcast, I'm telling you, I really want to do it in person. I really want us to have a bottle of scotch, and I really want us to smoke a cigar.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've always wanted to smoke a cigar.
Have you never smoked one?
No.
So
I'm so sad. I really want one.
We'll be able to firm it, but like people who I know, like,
you're not meant to inhale it. That's the thing.
Yeah, and people are just like, sorry, we're taking this account. People who I've seen attempt to smoke a cigar go, it's locked. I'm gone. That's not. It's been awkward. Professional. Breathe in, then let go. But with a cigar, you're supposed to just go. Let it brew around.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're not meant to inhale it most of the time for a cigar.
Yeah. But even then, like, I'm not getting like some shitty ass like 10 quid one.
No. I want a Cuban.
Allegedly, you want one.
Allegedly.
Tell you what, though. I did some Christmas shopping last week. I may have got a few presents for yourself and Harold.
Oh, damn. I need to do some Christmas shopping myself.
You just go, shit, Luke's actually got me something now.
Luke's got me some. Search up Glen Murray.
Yeah, mate, I'll take it. It's more expensive than what I've got. Basically, right, I'll tell you, I'm not going to... In fact, do you want to know what it is, or do you want it to be a surprise?
What's the price range of it so I know what to get you?
So there are 3 things, and it works out to be 30 quid.
All right, okay. All right.
But you'll like them. I know you will. So do you want to know what it is?
Go for it.
Okay, so there's a sweatshirt, a shirt, and a mug.
Oh, damn.
Right.
I'm excited now.
Do you want to know what's on them? So on the T-shirt, it's grey.
Yep.
It's got a logo in the middle of the chest.
All right.
Finlay and Luke show.
is it all 3 Finlay and Luke show?
The sweatshirt is black, and in the middle of the chest, Finlay and Luke show.
Yeah.
And the mug, which is the one I wanted mainly, and I got myself one. I've got myself a top and a sweatshirt as well. Excuse me. All the Finlay and Luke show. So I've got a shirt, a sweatshirt, and a mug for you, and Harry, and then I've got myself that as well. And then for Connie, I've got a shirt and a mug, and then Kerry Ann, I'm thinking again at like 10 of everything.
No, Kerry Ann deserves a bottle of the finest scotch. She's done a lot for us in that office. And to be fair, we rented out the office and the starting price was a tenner for the entire year. I don't know why he's laughing. You missed out what I said. I
could.
Yeah. That office only cost a tenner for the entire year. She's basically working out of a cardboard box.
Almost as if she's not real.
It's almost as if, but she is. She's very real. Do you want me to give her a call?
Yeah, do you want it?
Yeah, mate.
Sorry, this person can't answer at them.
Didn't answer. Bloody hell, Kerry Ann. I'll fucking answer. There we go. It's ringing this time. Didn't ring last time.
Hello?
Yeah, right, Kerry Ann. How are you doing?
Oh, you're right, Finlay. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you still at the office?
Oh, you know.
Oh, bloody hell, late night, innit? Yeah, late night, innit?
I've got something to ask. There's a strange man coming here.
There's a strange man coming in. What's he look like?
He's bald and he's got a beard and he looks quite scary.
Is it Luke? It's probably Luke.
No, I saw Luke earlier. All he does is chat about his best mate, Emma Kenny.
Oh,
And
God.
I don't get it.
Yeah, he's a bit strange, isn't he?
Oh, but I tell you what, he's got a massive penis.
Oh, right. And how do you know that, Gary, Annie?
Well, Finlay, if I'm being honest to you, love, the admin party last week was a bit messy.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't fucking go then, eh?
Wait, you didn't go?
I didn't go to the admin party, no.
Well, who was the other bloke I was with?
It wasn't bloody me, it must have been Harry.
Oh, that cheeky bugger.
Oh, Harry, he's put on a pair of glasses and drew on a fake beard, hasn't he, the weirdo?
Oh, he's a cheeky bastard, Harry.
Oh, well. Right, anyway, carry on. I'll let you go. I'll let you carry on with the paperwork, all right?
All right, Finlay, love.
All right.
Say hello to everyone.
I will do. I'll see you in a bit, darling.
Right,
Bye-bye.
love
Love you too, Kerry Ann. Bye-bye. So that was Kerry Ann. She's still at the office. She said hello to you all. Oh, bloody hell. Luke, where have you been, mate?
Sorry, mate. I was just at the door.
Oh, fucking hell. What, you order food, yeah?
No. I was just a neighbour knocking on.
Oh, bloody hell. Kerry Ann, she told me
Oh, fucking hell,
some
Carrie Ann.
interesting
How's she
things.
doing?
Yeah, she's all right. She told me some interesting things.
What's she say, Finlay?
She said that, yeah, you may have a substantial member.
It's true.
And about the admin party last week that I didn't attend.
You didn't attend the admin party? Well, who
No.
was the other?
It was Harry in a pair of glasses and drew on a fake beard. And there may have been a bit of tag team action there.
It makes a lot more sense now.
I'm hearing there was a bit of tag team action there.
What the fuck is this segment?
Phone calls to carry on every week.
Yeah, and we have that every week. Moving on very, very, very swiftly. You're chatting shit, mate.
Yes, welcome back. I don't know if there's going to be a graphic or not. If not, word on. But, yes. So, on this week's You're Chatting Shite, mate, I have some facts for you. Fucking hell, it sounded like an old Beatle there, didn't it?
Sound like Carrie Ann.
I sounded like John Lennon trying to chat to Paul McCartney. Well, you know what, Paul? Ringo. You're fucking weirdo. Right, I'm going to start off with, am I chatting shit, mate? The toenail of your little toe is called the spungle. The spungle. Spungle. Spungle.
I'm going to say you're chatting shit, mate.
I can't remember if... Oh, yes, I am chatting shit.
Can't say because there's no need for it to have a scientific name.
Well, it could do.
Ah, but what's the purpose? Only your little pinky toenail.
Yeah, well, you could have a net stop. So
1-0 Luke. Okay,
1-0 Luke. 1-0 Luke against no one. The classic Windows XP wallpaper. You know which one I'm talking about?
Right, the hills.
Yep. That's a real photo with no editing at all.
Yeah, it's true.
Fuck me. Sideways. Right. 2-0.
Well, I thought I did that admin party last week, but clearly not.
You have me wrong, sir.
No wonder Harry was walking like a penguin. Anyway.
This is getting explicit double times on Spotify.
I'd just like to clarify Harry is being locked up in his gaff.
That could have gone a different way.
I'm going to stop speaking now.
Yeah. Anyway, number 3 of the You're Chatting Shit. The Playboy magazine can be read by blind people.
So what you're insinuating is that they're releasing Braille versions of Playboy magazine.
Yep.
I'm going to say true.
Fuck you, Luke Parker. This is no fun.
If I get 4 out of 4, I'll take a swig of Glamoury.
And then the last one. Buzz Aldrin left a pen on the moon after the first visit. Eugene Cernan, the last moon walker, found it. It still worked.
Ooh. Now that is a good one. Because can you be fair and tell me the time gap between when they went?
Because I don't actually know the dates. It didn't tell me the dates, but so Buzz Aldrin. Quick Google search.
In fact, no, don't tell me because it may
All right, okay.
spoil it.
I actually want to find out myself.
See,
All
I'm
right,
thinking,
so that was that.
I'm thinking there's a considerable amount of time between there, and there's not going to be a lot of moisture in the air because there's no atmosphere there. So there's not going to be a lot there. So more likely than not, the pen's going to dry up. So I'm going to say, you're chatting shit, mate.
Um, I just want to find out when the last guy actually walked on the moon. That's just telling me when he died.
Oh, the tension's killing me now, man.
Sorry. Oh, so Cernan travelled to the moon twice.
Right.
As pilot of Gemini 9A in 1966 and Apollo 10 in 19... Wait, no. Oh, 3 times he went to the moon, sorry. 3 times he went to space and twice to the moon. So Gemini 9A, he was in space in 1966. Apollo 10, 1969, and December 1972 on Apollo 17. And Buzz Aldrin went to the moon in June of 1969.
I still think you're chatting shit, mate. I think the pen would have dried out. I've got it right. Now, this is going to be very dangerous.
Oh, no.
What I'm going to do... Can have the Canatanga ready. And if I start coughing, then I apologise.
Oh, that's beautiful noise.
It smells so good.
I'm here drinking standard Jack Daniels in a Coke can.
Just blessing myself.
Fuck me, how many times?
Because it's going to kill my throat.
What year is it? How many years?
50.
50?
Mm.
Fuck me. Have you seen that YouTube video that PewDiePie made with Jacksepticeye of them trying Irish whiskies?
No.
Oh my god, it's amazing. They tried 100-year-old whiskey. Oh no, they didn't. Did they try it or did they not? Because they went to open the bottle and the cork just snapped off because it was 100 years old.
So I've got a very hot lung, not lung, you know what I mean?
Trachea.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend Downing Scotch, especially expensive Scotch, which is
You
over
only
50 years
swigged it.
old. You know what I mean, though. Like, Scotch is a sipping drink for a reason.
Yeah, it is. Scotch on the rocks. Scotch on the rocks with a twist. That's a good drink. The twist is soda.
Nah, man. I've one cube of ice if it's fairly small amount. 2 cubes of ice if it's a big amount.
Well,
It's,
you know, you can. I drink it with 2 cubes of ice and then top it up with a bit of soda water, like a little bit, to like the head of the where the ice cubes is. Like, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I got 4 out of 4 on
He
chapping
did.
shit, mate.
First ever
So-
time. Well, no, Daryl mastered that last week.
He didn't.
Daryl got the 4 out of 4, didn't he?
I was listening back to it and I was watching it. He got one wrong
Did he?
and acted like he got all 4 right.
Oh, the sly bastard.
I know.
Oh, Daryl, you don't guess a high five anymore.
Right. Are you ready for Luke's question of the week? Word out.
Indeed, I am. Word out here. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Luke's question of the week. Word out here.
Right. I've got 2 questions this week. Okay.
Yes.
So the first one, would you rather have the ability to copy and paste any item on repeat or undo things?
Undo.
Any particular
Straight
reason?
away. Just undo, because I've made a lot of mistakes in my life.
No. So it only works from when you get the ability.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, like, I am guaranteed to make mistakes, so I'd be able to just undo it.
That's fair enough.
And it's trial and error.
Here's trial and error. I'd go for copy and paste.
I do understand why you do that, because there's a element of deception in the undoing part, isn't there? Like,
yeah, there is a bit when you do that.
I don't quite like that.
With copy and paste, I'll have a fair bit of money in my bank account.
That is true, but money doesn't buy happiness.
It does for me at this moment in time. Right. So for the second question, is money related?
Okay.
Okay. So you've just won £100 billion.
Does that number exist?
Yes, I'm saying it does.
Okay.
Okay. What's the first thing you buy or put your money towards?
Savings bonds. I'm joking.
So I'm looking for a new co-host, and
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. I wouldn't do that. I'd probably buy me ma and dad the house in Cornwall that they've always wanted.
That's nice.
Yeah, I probably would. And then I'd do 2 things. I'd buy me ma and dad's business. I'd buy me ma and dad that house in Cornwall that they wanted. And then the second thing I'd do is I'd buy me granddad's business that he sold to a bunch of cunts and give it back to him. Despite the fact that he retired, I'd just give it back to him and just say, here, give it to someone else.
And then give it to me.
Give it to someone else.
To be fair,
it's my money.
I thought a lot about what I'd do if I won £100 billion. Because there's so many options to what you could do. And like
suits.
Yeah.
Suits. A lot of suits.
Imagine, right? Imagine you're due to have a date with someone, right? You have £100 billion. And you just think, fuck it. Paris for lunch.
I'd take him to McDonald's stuff.
Take him to Mackey's. Yeah, 2.99p cheeseburgers. That's what I love.
Yeah.
Nah,
and you
honestly,
whip out a wad of £1,000.
Imagine being so rich, you can just go, yeah, we're going to get a plane. We're going to go Paris for lunch and think tea. I fancy
Rome,
Venice, even though Venice stinks like shit. Yeah. Why the fuck not? It'd be mint. If it wasn't to go on like a mad first date, I'd probably buy myself a house.
True.
But like, and this sounds weird. Oh, there's a fucking fly in my room. For sake. It's going towards the fucking white screen. That's fucking pissing me off, and you can see it flying about. And I wouldn't go for like an exceptionally big house. Like,
because I'd probably be living in it on my own for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I'd probably be like Finn, Harry, Joe, Mikey, Zach, etc.
Yeah, mate.
because the fact that, I could live with my mates and it's all paid for, etc. Obviously, that would get extremely annoying over time.
Oh God, yeah.
So
We'll just have to like stay away from each other and rekindle the friendship over PlayStation. And then after that,
mate, imagine
we
how
could
toxic
mingle
playing
again.
pro clubs would be.
Oh my God!
Imagine
I'd
you
run up
fuck
to your
up.
room.
You just fucking get a belt.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Yeah.
off, dick.
Fuck you, Luke.
I'll fuck him.
It'd be like
Why
living in the.
me? I'm the best pro clubs player of our friendship group.
You're in front of me. Who else am I going to say off the top of my head?
Bully.
It would be like living in the Sidemen house, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think the thing is, right.
I think
I
it
love
would be
the
fun though. It
prospect
would
of
be
that,
fun.
Yeah.
I've always liked the idea of like living in a big house with mates and
Well,
being questioned as gay because all I live with is men, and the Sidemen never have any girlfriend apart from Josh, which is really weird.
Simon, JJ.
Yeah. Back in the day,
Rick.
though. When it was in the old Sidemen house, Josh was the only one with a bird, apart from when JJ was dating Shauna. That video they did on the helicopter. You know what I'm talking about. Fire. I see what you did there.
Nah, but like, I was generally like thinking the other day, like, because I had a plan basically about 2 months ago. Like, I wanted to do Christmas by myself. So my thing was I was gonna like get myself a place over Christmas. Don't know if that's gonna happen now, but my thinking was, imagine, right? Have Christmas Day to myself, which is what ideally I'd want to do.
I could come over and say hi.
Well, there's that prospect, but imagine, right? Boxing Day, the pace up.
Oh yeah.
My days.
Oh,
But
quite far,
no
my
matter
dear
what,
sir.
and I'll tell you what, we're gonna sort this now. Okay.
Yes.
We're not gonna complain about this. We need to work out when we're recording the Christmas podcast.
Yes. Should we just like get a room in Premier Inn and just record?
Well, the thing is, we need Harry there.
Yeah, so me, you, and Harry just rent a room in a decent hotel.
Well, the thing is, I was going to see if Connie wanted to come on.
Get her on the voice chat and put her next to the camera.
Yeah, about to say, because it looked a bit dodgy when there's 3 lads and a single lass. Fucking go up to our room, don't mind us.
Yeah, sorry, we're just recording a podcast.
So, no matter what, I still think like we definitely need to record in person for it. So the 23rd is a Wednesday.
23rd of what?
December.
All right.
So am I putting that in my calendar right now?
I mean, I can book it off work if you want to.
Because
23rd.
Because what I want to do is, right, I want to do the podcast and then upload it on Christmas Day.
All right.
Because, and I generally mean this, and it may not seem much, some people are lonely on Christmas Day. They don't have families, they don't have any celebrations.
That is very true.
And I doubt anyone watching this, is that dedicated to the channel. But you know what? If we can cheer someone's Christmas up by sitting there for a few hours, because it's going to be the longest podcast we've ever done. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, mate.
Then I'll be fucking mint.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll probably just, we'll probably just leave the camera running and forget about it and just get absolutely hammered.
Oh, no, we're going to get hammered and we're going to speak about the year that's gone by, which I know.
Oh, that's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that bit.
Oh,
I know Harry's going to go, so how was May?
Yeah. If I sound like a broken record right now, but if I don't have a Tracy McConnell by my side in December, I'm fucked. I'm so very fucked.
But the thing is, right, we're speaking about How I Met Your Mother quickly.
Yeah.
I've always thought, right, and I've been saying this to our mate Carly for a few years, I have the look at Ted Mosby. I know that as soon as I meet the one, etc., I'll lose her. She'll die.
I mean,
it's a very morbid way to look at things, but I just
Yeah.
feel like that.
We said this to each other the other day, though. Didn't we? We said I said something. I put something on my Snapchat, and we
I said
messaged
something
each
that we
other
won't
about it.
repeat. I said something that we won't repeat.
Yeah, and then we just said we're a bunch of Ted Mosbys living in the world of Barney Stinsons. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Don't get me wrong, Barney Stinson is freaking awesome,
it is.
and he did marry Robin in the end, but then that broke off.
Which was the most annoying fucking thing ever.
I swear to God, if you're gonna make Ted happy, don't make his wife fucking die, because the TV show is called How I Met Your Mother, not How I Met Your Mother, and then
No,
she died.
It's not
and
How
then
I Met
went
Your
and
Aunt Robin, who I secretly
yeah,
loved the entire time.
it's not How I Met Your Aunt Robin, who I loved and then married someone else, and then she died, and then I went and married her again.
You know what the
And
most
she had
annoying
7
thing
dogs.
was, right? Was that the entire final season was building up to Barney and Robin's wedding, and you think, "Min, what a nice thing."
Yeah, they
And
were
then in
perfect for each other as well.
they were, and then the second to last episode, because they did like an hour-long finale, whatever it was. Second last episode, yeah, I've got a divorce. What? Sorry, what?
Yes. Very sad.
Obviously, like Barney wasn't the sort of guy to have commitment in it, but Robin made him want to change. That's why they were perfect for each other.
Yeah, I hated it. Like, I really just did hate it. Like, the whole
That is the
fact
worst
is,
ever ending to a TV show ever.
yeah, the whole fact is they made it out like they had the wife planned out from when he was dating that college girl who had the roommate.
No, so I was watching an interview. They knew it was going to be Robin from the end of season 1.
Yeah, no, but like they then made that, you know, the episode where
Yeah,
Ted dated
with
a girl
the
from
college girl
college,
who ended up being a
and
lesbian.
yeah, and then he picked out everything in her room that was her roommates, who was obviously Tracy, and then like they only made that like very important in the final season, and that
But
is
you know what
bullshit.
did annoy me? It's like, oh yeah, well Tracy and Ted have ran past each other several times.
Yeah,
That pissed me off.
yeah.
I was like, no, don't. Why?
Don't like bring that in at the end of the season. And just make it happen. Like, I don't get it.
Have you seen the alternate ending?
No, I've not seen the alternate ending.
Watch it. It's a lot better.
I will do. But this also goes on top of the fact that I really fucking hate Alison Hannigan, who plays Lily. I fucking despise her as an actress. She's the
You
most
son of a bitch.
I fucking hate her. I can't express how I've watched all the American Pie films, and she's in all of them, obviously. Still fucking hate her. I watched all of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She's in it.
Say Buffy.
Hate her. And then I watched all of How I Met Your Mother. She's in it. Fucking hate her. Because she is...
Ginger.
Obviously she's typecast as this, like, weird, awkward, kind of whiny... Well, in How I Met Your Mother, she's this really fucking whiny character. And it made me hate her. Like, I can't stand watching any scenes with her, because that final season, the one thing that pisses me off every time is thank you, Linus. Every 2 seconds.
She in that final season of How I Met Your Mother was so weird. Like Marshall getting on the plane and ended up having to get like a rent a car and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck? It was very strange.
Marshall versus the machine.
To be fair though, How I Met Your Mother, right? The final season wasn't great, but it still wasn't bad. Like, How I Met Your Mother is one of the best TV sitcoms, bar the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I did finish this week, right? Which is very good, and I do recommend you watch it. Life on Mars.
Oh no, yeah, no, funny story.
So good.
Funny story. That TV show was actually part of my GCSE media coursework. Oh no, part of my GCSE media.
Manchester?
No, it was part of my GCSE media exam. We had to compare Life on Mars to another TV drama, and I did Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and like
bit different.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like compare them. It was like take 2 TV dramas and analyze them. So I did Life on Mars and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because we watched the first episode in class, and then I thought, this is fucking sick. So I went and watched it. I didn't watch all of it. I need to
Okay, I
like
won't say
rewatch
anything.
it, but I fucking love it. Like
It's sick.
I think I barely got through. I think I barely got through halfway of season 1, but I just loved it so much. Like Manchester in the 70s,
Mm.
and
I
I
think
love the
because
70s.
I'm now on the spin-off show of it called
Yeah.
Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah,
It's
Ashes to
got
Ashes.
Keely
Yeah.
Hawes in it, and it's
Mm.
funny as fuck.
Yeah, like
So I'll get that to watch.
if you know me, you know I love the 70s as well, and I love the whole
Mm.
disco and flares and shit like that. But oh my god, it's such a sick show. But yeah,
It's very good.
I think we've been chatting so much shit. This is going to be a long ass episode.
And I have to have this sorted for 1:30 tomorrow.
Way. Good luck with that, Luke.
It'll be done. So I think we'll call it there then, don't you?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
All right then.
So
Well,
that's a good night from Barney and the Bro Code.
it is. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to check us out on Spotify,
course.
Deezer, Google Podcasts,
Your nan's ironing board.
your dad's Avon cupboard,
Your dad sells Avon.
your mum's Avon cupboard.
Your uncle's secret basement.
And we will see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. In a bit, lads.